Hello guys, you're welcome to the first video of our UI UX design video series or tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to teach you on how to get started with UI UX design using Figma. Okay, so first of all, before we dive into Figma, what is UI UX design? All right, so first of all, UI design or user interface design is a process of designing the look and feel of digital products user interface. Now, it encompasses everything the user sees and interacts with while using a digital product like a website or a mobile application. So, UI design focus on things like layout or structure of a design of a product. It also covers color schemes, how you use your colors, how you distribute your colors. It also covers typography, okay, which has to do with text and text management. And then it also covers buttons, icons, and other visual elements. Basically, everything the users see and interact with while using a mobile app or website makes up the UI. Okay, so take it like this. You can think about it like how does this product look? Okay, like this website we are currently looking at. How does it look? How does it feel? How is it easy to navigate through the product? Okay, that's talking about the UI. Now, UI UX falls under human computer interaction, or HCI, which is the study of how humans or how people interact and communicate with their computers or with their digital devices. Okay, so let's talk about UX now, user experience design. Now, UX design or user experience design is the process of enhancing satisfaction by improving usability or accessibility and interaction between users and product. All right, now the focus area of user experience is user research, user persona, user journey map, user flow, wireframes and prototype, usability testing, A/B testing, feedback, and so on. All right, so since we are just getting started with this tutorial or with this series, we are going to get to all of those later on, but let's continue for now. So just like UI answers the question of how does this product look, UX answers the question of how does it work or how does it function. All right, so UI has to do with look, while UX has to do with functionality. All right, how it functions. So together, UI and UX work hand in hand. A product with a beautiful UI but poor UX may look good but frustrating to use. Now, a product with great UX but poor UI might function well but feel unattractive or outdated. That is why you need to know how to work both of them together. All right, so that's why we are going to focus in this series. We are going to focus on UI and UX design, though we have people who focus on UI and others who focus on user experience design or UX researchers. Okay, but we'll be looking at both of them together. Okay, so now let's talk about Figma. There are a lot of other tools that you can use in your UI UX design task, but we're going to be using Figma. All right, now what is Figma? Figma is a cloud-based collaboration tool where designers can come together and collaborate on projects. All right, so it is cloud-based collaboration tool that runs on your web browser. All right, now to get started, you have to go to figma.com on your browser. Open figma.com. Now, I already logged into my account, but if you're a new user, all you need to do is click on get started, create an account on figma.com, and when you do that, it's going to just follow the prompt they set up, and then it's going to bring you to your dashboard. All right, so here is my dashboard. I have some projects that I already worked on. I've been using this account for a while now, so I have some projects already here. But if you're a new user, your account, your dashboard is going to be pretty empty. Okay, so that is why you are here to get started. All right, so to get started on a project, first of all, we have some of the projects right here. We have some folders right here by the left side panel, okay? Now, to get started, I'm going to come over here to design. I have some options here: design, Figma, slide, boards, and so on. All right, there are a few updates which were recently added, okay? Now, I'm going to come over to design to get started with a new design project. So I'm going to click on that to create a new design file. All right, so yeah, it's going to create a new design project. Now it depends on the project you're about to work on. It depends on whether it's mobile application or website. All right, that's what will determine how you get started with your project. But all the same, once you create a new project, it's going to bring you to the design screen right here, or the layout, Figma layout. All right, so first of all, we have the left sidebar right here, the properties panel, and the design canvas or center canvas here, where you do all your design work. All right, so just to get started, I'm going to change the color of my canvas. Okay, I'm going to use a lighter gray from here. Okay, just come over here and pick a lighter gray color. It depends on how comfortable, which one you are comfortable using. Okay, so I have my canvas color set. Now, to get started, assuming that I want to design a mobile app prototype, okay, to get started, I will have to pick a frame. All right, I'll pick a frame right here. Once you click on the frame tool, you can either draw your frame, but I'll prefer you come over here and pick your frame size. Okay, now consider it as your design screen or your mobile phone screen or website screen. That's what frame represent in this case. All right, so I want to design, let's say, for iPhone 16 Pro Max, a mobile app prototype for iPhone 16 Pro Max. I'm going to select that. This is going to enter my frame. As you can see right here, iPhone 16 Pro Max frame. Okay, now in as much as we are about to design for iPhone 16 Pro Max, later on you are going to see in one of our subsequent videos how you can make your design responsive on different phones sizes or screen sizes. All right, but let's get started. When you insert a frame, by the left sidebar here, you are going to see the name of your frame, iPhone 16 Pro Max. Okay, so you can actually rename it, double click to rename it to whatever you want to call it. All right, you can also rename it from here, just double click. All right, or you can right click on it and select rename from, just look for rename from the context menu, and then you can rename your screen size or your screen or your frame actually. All right, so we have the left sidebar, which is also known as the layers panel. For example, if you enter or if you draw any item or any element on your UI, it's going to be added to your layers panel. Okay, so later on, as we proceed with the course, you are going to be seeing, we're going to be mentioning a lot about our layers panel and also the properties panel right here. Okay, so the left hand side here contains the layers list. It also contains the list of pages you have currently on your project. Now, for this starter plan that we are using, if you create Figma for the first time, you'll be given the option to choose between starter and premium. Okay, so I am using an educational plan, okay, or education plan, which is almost the same with starter plan, but there are a few additional features I have that you might not have on the starter plan. So, but if you are using the starter plan, you can create a maximum of 3 pages per project. Okay, you can add a maximum of 3 pages per project, which is more than enough, okay, to complete a project. All right, now I have a page here. Just like our layers, you can actually rename your page, okay, to suit whatever. It depends on what you are designing. If you are designing wireframe, a prototype, or it's just for a reusable component, you can do that. You can also expand and collapse your elements or your components here on your layers panel. We also have our assets. So I'm not going to talk much about assets today, but asset is more like a component library, either a preset UI toolkit or design system, or you can create your own design system or your UI toolkit as you continue with your project. All right. So again, we are going to talk about that later on in our subsequent classes. Now, next thing, you can also rename your project. Assuming I want to design for e-commerce, I can rename that e-commerce project. Okay, e-commerce project. I can actually give it a project name, like an app name or website name if I already have one. All right. Now, let's come all over to the properties panel. All right. Again, if I add another component on this UI, for now, we are not going to talk much about colors, but if I add another property or another component on this UI, again, it's going to be added under file. It will be added to my properties, to my layers panel. You can see it here, rectangle 1, and rectangle 2. All right. Now, each of these properties you select has, each of these components have properties you can set. Okay. For example, we have position. Okay. For instance, I have a property like that. Maybe I place it in the middle of the screen. All right. I can position it left, center, right, or top, middle, and bottom. Okay. So it depends on where you want to position your component. All right. We also have other things like the positioning. Everything here deals with positioning, the X and Y positioning. All right. For instance, if I adjust the Y positioning to 100, okay, it's going to move it down. X position is going to move it. As I increase that, it's going to move it to the right hand side or reduce it to the left hand side. As you can see, my rectangle right there. Okay. So I'm going to set that to 0. Okay, to 0. I'm also going to move it up there. All right. Now we also have other properties like the angle. You can rotate your component from here, as you can see. But I'm going to set that to 0. You can also flip either horizontal or vertical. Next thing, you can set the dimensions, which is the width and the height. If I increase the height of this to 400, it's going to make it larger. All right. Then I can come over to appearance or opacity, which sets the degree of visibility of your component. We also have corner radius, which is going to add rounded corner to either the individual sides or all the 4 corners. Okay, I can set the corner radius here to 12 pixels, and you can see it's going to set the corner radius for all the 4 corners. All right. But what if I want to set the individual corners? I'm going to come over here and then set it individually, top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right corner. It's going to affect just the individual corners. Next is color. All right. I'm going to click on this and pick my preferred color from here. But we are not going to be dealing with color or working with colors yet. All right. But you can first of all pick your preferred color and set the color intensity or fill intensity right here. Okay. Next thing, we also have stroke. All right. Stroke is you can adjust the outline of your shape by increasing or adjusting your stroke right here. You can also set the stroke position to center, inside, or outside. Okay. And then we also have apart from stroke, we also have effect, which could comprise of, if I click on effect, you can add drop shadow. You can also add layer blur, background blur, texture, or noise. Okay, as you can see it there. All right. For texture, you can add texture, as you can see right there. So there are a lot of things you can do with the properties. It depends on your selected component component. All right. So that's what will determine the options we have right here. We also have other options like auto layout, which is one of the most powerful features of okay, you can also only see auto layout when you select 2 or more components. All right. So we have auto layout right here, which is one of the most powerful features of Figma. We are also going to be working with that later. All right. So with that said, let's talk about the toolbox right here at the bottom. Now, the toolbox is very useful because it is what you use in creating components. For example, I want to create a box component or a flex container or a card. I can just pick the rectangle tool and then draw my rectangle and then set the properties from the properties panel right here. All right, I can also pick other shapes like the line, the arrow, the ellipse, polygon, star, or I can actually insert an image. If I want to insert an image, assuming this is a container or a card and I want to insert an image, I can just click on image or video. Yes, so I can actually insert a video. So once I come to pictures, okay, so I'm going to open a folder and then pick an image. All right, so for instance, I select this image and open. All right, I'm going to come over here and click on it. It's going to place the image inside the box. Consider the box, the rectangle, as a container. All right, so the content is the image, the rectangle is the container. All right, so we're also going to be talking about flex box theory or flex theory container as we proceed with the course in our subsequent videos. Okay, now let's talk about keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to introduce you to some very vital keyboard shortcuts that you need to know to get started with Figma. Okay, these keyboard shortcuts are very useful as a product designer. All right, so first of all, we have to pick the rectangle tool from here. All you need to do is tap R on your keyboard. R, the letter R, is going to activate the rectangle tool and you can draw your rectangle. Now, to pick the text tool, or you can just pick the text tool and then drop to type. All right. Optionally, you can also pick the text tool and draw a text box to create a paragraph text or a large block of text inside your text box. Okay, so to activate the text tool automatically, all you need to do is tap T on your keyboard. Okay, T is going to activate the text tool. Okay, next, F is used to activate or pick the frame tool. All right, as you can see there, F is the shortcut for the frame tool. All right, while V is used to activate the move tool. Okay, assuming you have a tool selected and you want to return back to the move tool, you just tap V. It's going to return back to the move tool, and then you can move objects around your canvas or around your design environment. Okay, now we also have grouping and ungrouping. All right, grouping objects together. Now, to group, you can select more than one object, two or more objects, by highlighting them and then tapping Ctrl G or Command G if you are using Mac. All right, either Ctrl G or Command G is going to group them together in a container. Right, again, consider the group as a container containing two or more items or components. All right, Ctrl G is used to group. Right, you can also right click and then select. You can see the group option. Our object is already grouped, so they're already grouped. So you can see ungroup, which is Control backspace. All right, so to ungroup this, you just hold Control or Command and then hit backspace to ungroup your components. All right, so we also have duplicate. Yeah, there are different ways you can duplicate an object. You can use Control D or Command D to duplicate, then drag it out. Again, I can select this tool and then Control D or Command D, then drag out to duplicate that. I can also use the alternate and left mouse button or left click. Okay, if I hold alternate or option, again, if you are using Mac, you hold option. Okay, but if you're using Windows, you hold Alt and then left mouse button, or Alt and left click, then drag. This is going to automatically duplicate your component. Again, Alt or Option, then left click and drag to duplicate your object. All right, so finally for now, we are going to look at how to import picture. We saw it already, you can come over here and select image or video to insert an image inside a container. But we have the keyboard shortcut, which is Control Shift K, all right, or Command Shift K. It's going to open your file explorer. You look for your preferred picture, the picture you would like to use, and then click open. again, it's going to bring you back to Figma. All you have to do is after it finish loading, you just come over here to your container, all right, or wherever you want to place the picture. You just go over there and then tap on it. This is going to insert the picture inside your selected container. As you can see, here's my picture. It's still hanging around. So all I need to do is come over here and tap on it. It's going to insert my picture in my container or in my box. Okay, so these are some important keyboard shortcuts you need to know to get started with Figma. All right, now here's the way you can find other keyboard shortcuts. You can come over to help and resources over here, tap on it, and then we have some options. All you need to do is look for keyboard shortcuts, click on that, and then you can see different keyboard shortcuts you can use. We have essential keyboard shortcuts, we have tools, view, zoom. Okay, I didn't talk about zoom, okay, but the zoom shortcuts are also very, very important. For example, to zoom into everything on your canvas, you can use Shift 1. Okay, it's going to zoom out, displaying everything on your canvas. Okay, to zoom into a selection, for example, this picture, I want to zoom into that picture. I'm going to use Shift 2, all right, to zoom in to my selection. Again, I'll come over here, Shift 2 will zoom into that selection over there. Okay, I can also use my mouse, okay, by using the scroll bar or mouse wheel, rather using the mouse wheel if you're using an external mouse, or you use pinch zoom on your trackpad. You can zoom in and zoom out, okay, by using pinch zoom, all right, on your trackpad. So these are some very important keyboard shortcuts, all right. And guys, that is a quick intro into Figma's layout and shortcuts. Now, I'd like you to know that if you found this video helpful and you want to be up to date with our subsequent videos, which I will be making a lot, I'd like you to give us a thumbs up